Hey, welcome to our special compilation of the best motivational videos and speeches of 2022. In a world that often challenges our resilience and determination, it's essential to find inspiration that fuels our drive and ignites our passion. Today, we've curated powerful messages that uplift, empower, and remind us of our potential. So, whether you're seeking a boost to tackle your goals or just need a little encouragement, you're in the right place. Let's dive into these incredible moments that will inspire you to reach new heights. Sometimes you've got to take a break from just about everything. Disappear, come back, and shock the world. I'm talking to that athlete, that administrator, that nurse, that doctor, that student, that communicator, that pioneer, that inventor, that entrepreneur, that preacher. I'm talking to that person who refuses to stay where they are. I'm talking to the one who doesn't mind laying in obscurity, because you know that when you come out of the dark room, all eyes are on you. We live in a culture of busyness, distraction, and noise. And sometimes the only way something's going to change is if we disappear. Sometimes you have to delete the app, walk away, or fall back into the dark room and focus on you. Everybody wants destiny, manifestation, fulfillment, the next level in relationships, and a higher quality of living. But nobody wants to eliminate distractions. Nobody wants to disappear for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and get to a place where you can focus on just you. What if you could shut out every distraction? What if you could quiet the world for just a season and focus on you? A man is rewarded in public for what he does in private. Can you unplug for just a moment and focus on what matters? Why are you here? What is your destiny? The reason why you don't see it, the reason why it is not manifested, the reason why you are so frustrated is that you have not been willing to forsake all that you've been called to forsake and to follow through behind closed doors. You can talk about it, plan it, write it down, go to the conference and hear about it, read about it. But at some juncture, you have to disappear and put the work in and come back and shock everybody that doubted you. I'm talking to that man, that woman, that boy, that girl who feels the fire in their belly. It's time for you to shock the world. You may have to sleep in your car, go without food, bounce around from couch to couch. You may have to sacrifice like nobody in your family ever has. But can you do it behind the scenes when nobody's looking, when nobody understands the measure of passion that you carry? Can you keep going? Don't stop. You're right there. You don't have time to waste. So I need you to put in 1,000% every single day. I was the baddest person to ever live. It doesn't go away, man. You've got to wake up. Even though you're retired, you never retire. You're setting the example every single day of your life by having a savage mentality. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what real beasts do. Everybody gets excited about the guru story, but nobody wants to get up at 3 o'clock. Things in life are going to get really hard, and you're going to want to quit. Win, lose, or draw, you still have to wake up tomorrow and go to work. If you truly want that greatness, you've got to work hard. You've got to dig a little bit deeper. You've got to find it. You've got to go after it because it's not looking for you. Success is not looking for you. You've got to go get it. You're not always going to feel like doing what you're supposed to do. That's when you've got to do it anyway. Success is not going to be handed to you. Nobody owes you anything. When you are hungry, when you are no longer full, when you are no longer satisfied with where you are, and you raise your standards, it has only been that you can have your future. What's going to separate you is when it's beast time. When this point is wartime, you've got to get up and make it happen. Push with everything you've got. Tell excuses to step aside. Let weakness know that it is not welcome in your house because the opportunities are yours. Go get it. Go get it now. Like for real, you walk out of here pumped up, fired up. You get some new information and you're ready. Everybody wants to be a beast until it's time to do what beasts do. Because not only do I want to be a beast, if you follow my 24 hours, I do what beasts do. The one mentality that you must have in life is that regardless of what's in front of you, you still must grind. I feel that most things I do, but still I cry. I have too much to accomplish with where I am right now. I have too much on the line. I have too many people depending on me to win. I must stay hungry, be a hard-working individual. You can't go wrong with that mentality. The truth of the matter is, how are you so emotionally injured, so mentally drained, so physically fatigued that you have allowed your dream, your destiny, to take a back seat to the excuse that you don't have what it takes, that you're not smart enough, that you're not tall enough, that you're not wide enough, that you're not deep enough, that you're not connected enough, that you don't know enough people? You keep comparing yourself to this person and that person. When will the excuses stop? When will you see your purpose bigger than your excuse? I don't know your name, but I know you have a dream. I don't know where you're from. But when you're listening to me, you may be listening in your closet, your bedroom, the gym, the car, the bus, the train, or the plane. I don't know where you're going, but I know you are going somewhere. You've got a destination. People who make excuses are not connected to their destination. They don't have an end game. They don't have a goal. You have allowed yourself to become a weak link covered under the blanket of excuses. But I'm just wondering if there's anybody here that has a dream. If you've made your excuses bigger than your dream, the time is now to find pressure. It may not be easy, but it's not impossible. This is not a "I feel like it today." This is not "I'm motivated for a week." This is an every single day mentality. You may have to work 3 times as hard. You may have to lose sleep. You may have to go to college, raise 5 children, maintain your marriage, and work your side hustle. I don't know what your story is, but if you maintain a no-excuse mentality, then the sky is your limit. The sky is your starting point. This is an every single day mentality. I never get turned off. Every single day I want my destiny. I want my dream. When somebody's in love with who they've been called to become, with what they've been called to fulfill, with what they've been destined to do, there is no day off. There are no likelinesses. I'm not a light switch. You can't turn me off. I can never get turned off. Every single day I'm giving everything I have. That's how big my dream is. And so there's no excuse. There's no pain, there's no dilemma. There are no speed bumps, there are no distractions that can turn me off. I want this thing every single day. Wealthy people first get into stocks, then they start a business, and then they get into real estate. Owning a stock is like owning a percentage of a great business. The people who aren't wealthy are because they don't own anything. If your money is just sitting in cash, realistically, you're becoming poorer every day. The key to wealth is through ownership. At about 9 or 10, I saw my mom get shot in front of my face. My early years were surrounded with violence. I saw my mom selling drugs. I saw my mom robbing. I saw my mom get robbed. I saw her get shot, and then she later on went to prison. At 14, my mom was in prison, and I lost my grandmother, who I was living with at the time. At 14, I'm homeless. I'm just in survival mode, like the world. I just want to get to the next day. I want to make as much money as I can selling drugs. At 16, I go to prison for attempting a robbery. But in prison, I had a fight with two of my homies. We fought for like 4 hours, back to back. I'm just fighting one after another. We're just fighting. I go to solitary confinement, and at this time, all these papers in prison are considered like one of the worst parish prisons in the United States. I go to the cell, and I meet this guy who was the turning point of my life. He was like, "Man, listen, there's a game that's being played, and you're playing a game that you can't win." For a minute, I just start thinking about the people I knew in the streets. Everybody lost. Everybody suffered the same fate. He had on a red and white band at the time. The red and white band means you're in federal custody. The first 3 things he said were, "Listen, wealthy people do 3 things. They stop trading time for money, they make their money work for them, and they give as much value to people as they can." We got a little deep into that. He said the reason why you give people so much value is that if you give them so much value, they'll never leave you. They'll always be there for you, and you will never need for anything as long as you give both value to people. So I learned that as I got older. That part really didn't make sense to me at the time, but the money working for you part, what the heck does that mean? All I knew was how to go get money. That's all I knew. So later on, he says wealthy people first get into stocks, then they start a business, and then they get into real estate. So when people ask me how I got into stocks, it's because I followed that rule. The rest of my time in prison, I wanted to be part of that wealthy conversation. What happened to me was it started reminding me of being in the streets. Everything about it. I heard this term one time that said the real gangsters are on Wall Street. The real gangsters are in the government. They looked at the most successful men and women of the world and found that they had like 7 or 8 things in common. And one of the things they all had in common was a routine. They are obsessed with their routine. They don't have gaps of wasted time. I realized the reason why I'm so successful, and the reason why I don't get in trouble like I used to when I was younger, is that when I was younger, my schedule had so many gaps in it. It's not that I'm sweeter than nobody. The devil can't get to me because all my time is taken up. By the time he gets to me, I'm sleeping. I'm too sleepy. I'm just being real. At 8:30, he's like, "Eric, you should have..." I'm like, "Bro, I'm tired. Come back to me tomorrow." He'll say, "Tip me tomorrow." I'm like, "Bro, I'm about to go to sleep. I'm good." My body says, "All you gotta do is put your shoes on. That's the hardest thing you gotta do. Just put your shoes on and I'll do the rest. I can't put your shoes on for you, but put your shoes on and just go." I just went, and I was walking on the incline for an hour. I was like, "You know what? It's almost an hour. I don't feel like running." My body was like, "Don't worry about it. We'll get to that when we get to it." I did my hour. I was about to get off, and my body was like, "You know we run now. I said, "What? We run now? Let's go." I said, "I am tired." My body said, "No, you're not. You just walked for an hour. You're not tired. Your brain is telling you some dumb stuff. If you were tired, you wouldn't be able to walk for an hour. So let's do this. Just run for 2 minutes." I'm trying to help somebody right now go to a whole other level. The reason why you go back to sleep is because you've always gone back to sleep. It's like a default. You go back to sleep because all you gotta do is stop going to sleep, and then you're gonna stop going to sleep. All you gotta do is stop fussing and cussing. You're gonna stop fussing and cussing. All you gotta do is stop spending all the money you got and start saving it. Listen to me. I became number 1 in the world. I became a millionaire. Not because I made more money. I became a millionaire because they told me millionaires only live off of 30% of their income. I want to make it plain for you. I became a millionaire because I did what millionaires did. I stopped living off of 100%. I paid my tithe, and then I was like, all right, you only got 20% left? Put the rest up. The very first thing I did to become rich was put 6 months of my earnings to the side. How long did it take? I don't remember, but I put it to the side. Then somebody was like, "Yo, E, you need to put 100,000 to the side." I was like, all right, we're gonna put 100,000 to the side. Then somebody said, "Yo, you need to get your credit score up to 800. I was like, all right, gonna get my credit score up. Then somebody said, "E.T., if you want to be Tony Robbins, there's no way you'll be able to be like those dudes if you don't have the language they have. You need to go get your master's and a PhD from a white institution." I said, "What?" I went to Oakwood. I went to an HBCU. He was like, "Yeah, but you didn't learn the language of Zig Ziglar at Oakwood." Oakwood is a phenomenal place. Y'all didn't hear what I'm saying. I just said something you missed. You need to go to Michigan State University. CJ, where's my master's degree? What about my PhD? Not in the office, not at church. You see it in my house. I didn't go to Michigan State to get a PhD. I went to Michigan State to learn the majority language. Listen to me very closely. When you graduate and you get a job, if you want to get paid, you never say no. You never say, "It can't get done." Don't you ever say out your mouth, "It can't get done," even if you feel in your heart it can't be done. You say it out loud. You let the broke folks say that. You let the folks that find first say that. You always say it can get done, even if you don't think it can get done. Just say it and try to make up something. Every time I put on a dress shirt and button up, I just feel it. I hear people say all the time, "Man, you look like you dress for success." I'm like, is putting on the shirt and tie dressing for success? I'm dressed for success. I'm getting paid. I'm dressed for success. I'm not dressed like he's dressed, but I'm dressed the way I feel comfortable. I feel good being me. I feel good not having the life. Not only can I say no, I don't have to explain why I said it anymore. It feels good being me, because guess what? I can never be sweet being you. The majority of you are poor, because you read poor stuff. You watch poor stuff. You're just scrolling through like, for real. Some of y'all on Instagram, you're on there for 30 minutes. If I ask you what you saw, you don't even know. You were just scrolling through. Rich people don't waste time. They realize it's their most important commodity. They don't watch a lot of TV. They don't do a lot of entertainment. If they're not working, they're studying their craft and getting better at their craft. So I need you to stop having the poverty mindset. When I quit my job to be an entrepreneur, my mom was like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" I was like, "I'm quitting." My mom's like, "Don't you dare quit. You're going to embarrass me. You got a wife and kids. Does YouTube have insurance? Does YouTube have a 401k? I was like, "Your mind is trying to be funny, and I'm trying to be disrespectful. I love you, but you can't teach me how to be a millionaire because you're not one. You come from the working class, and I'm not mad at you, Mom. We wouldn't be where we are without you, but you told me every generation is supposed to get better. So I'll take your values, but I'm going to take your work ethic. Rich people don't work. They think. Poor people go clock in. I make this much. Rich people go, I put them to work and I make this much at home. See, what happens is you're working for you and your family. One of them has 40 people working at one time, so they're giving you 20, and they're keeping the 80 off of 15,000 people. So what you have to decide is, are you going to keep being the 99, or are you ready to be part of the 1%? It doesn't make a difference where you come from. High school dropout? It doesn't make a difference. GED? It doesn't make a difference. 17-year-old mom that got pregnant? It doesn't make a difference. Took 12 years to get a 4-year degree? It doesn't make a difference. You know what makes a difference? What makes a difference is when you become a 99 or a 1%. When I started thinking like, acting like, and behaving like a 1%, I went to every single class. When the teachers were talking, they thought I was just doing homework. I wasn't. I was listening to how they conjugate verbs. I was listening to how they tell stories. I was like, oh, they're way more linear. I realized when you do corporate, it's A, B, C, D, E, F. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's topic, body, body, body. It's topic, support, 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 conclusion. I need your language, though. If I'm going to compete, I need your rules. I need your codes if I'm going to compete. The problem with most of you is you don't have a 1% language. You've got a poverty language. There was a language that I needed to learn. Does it mean I need to abandon the language that I learned? Absolutely not. Don't be average. For real, whatever it is you do, do it. Do it and take a different perspective. Listen to me very closely. The problem I have with most kids is if I tell you what to take, most of you will die of exhaustion. You'd pass out before you reach 10,000. You just pass out. You don't have the heart for it. You just don't have the stamina for it. You couldn't take what it really takes. Just for those of you who don't know, when they came from Africa and were enslaved, they didn't move them to San Diego. They weren't doing soccer. I just want to give you some perspective. They were in Mississippi, Alabama. It was smoking hot and they didn't quit. They didn't give up because they said, we're going to get them here for the next generation. Come on, our Latino brothers and sisters who were migrant workers. They come on. They're in the East. They want no AC. The stuff that y'all complain about, the stuff that y'all think is hard. Here we are, a new year, another opportunity, an opportunity of a lifetime. This is the year that we said, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do better. I'm going to be stronger instead of fearful. This is my year. Today you have an opportunity to chart a new path, so do me a favor. Step into your new you. Step into your new year because success is waiting for you. The thing you gotta ask yourself is, am I gonna repeat my history, or will I blaze a new trail? Today you have a chance to get up and attack your goals. Let this be the year of no regrets. The real you is breathing down your neck, begging you to manifest. It's got to be a lifestyle change when you shift your paradigm. When you shift your thinking, only then what you see in your head will you hold in your hand. Motivation has an expiration date, and when motivation dies, discipline must take its place. Because when motivation dies, you are left talking and not doing. The only way you're going to do is if discipline takes the place of your motivation. This is your year, because you are still in it. Get to work. Strength, leadership, power, authority, guidance, patience are God's gifts to us as men. Hundreds of people give up on their goals on a daily basis. It's usually because they realize quickly after starting their journeys that they're alone. Nobody's waking them up in the morning. Nobody's pushing them when they start to make excuses. And nobody's patting them on the back when they hit a milestone. Stop relying on outside sources of inspiration, motivation, and support to get you there. Put your head down and take charge of your life. True desire in the heart. That itch that you have, whatever it is you want to do, that thing that you want to do to help others and to grow and to make money, that desire is God's proof to you, sent beforehand to indicate that it's yours. You can't get it because you want it. If you put in the work, they can't deny you. If you put in the work, they can't stop you. Be great. Pursue your own version of happiness. Life always offers you a second chance. You know what it's called? Tomorrow. For far too long, you've been holding yourself back. It's time for you to walk with purpose. It's time for you to walk into your gift. It's time for you to live your best life. It's wrapped in your capacity, your ability to believe in a dream, even if nobody believes in you. To get something you never had, you have to do something you never did. If every time you try to better yourself, somebody hits you with a line like, "Why would you want to do that?" You need to find another social circle. I don't want to fall back on anything. I want to fall forward. I figure at least this way I'll see what I'm going to hit. We did not come this far to just break down and lose. I'm a winner. I'm going to win. The one thing you cannot get back is time. It is your greatest asset. I'd give someone some of my money for a couple more years to be with my wife. Time is the greatest enemy. You think it's infidelity. You think it's finances. You think it's in-laws. You think it's differences. No, it is time. We've got to learn how to steward our time. We've got to learn to tend to it, guard it, keep it. I just want to make sure that the life we have left is sweeter than the life that I would give up, or if I wasn't focused and I wasn't doing what I'm supposed to do. When you've been with somebody since you were 16 years old, and they have a chronic illness, don't you know it's easy for me to go drink? It's rough. My life isn't what it used to be before she got sick. While God is blessing her, she still has MS. I lost 5 hours to cancer. You don't think I could have smoked a week? You don't think when I'm going through that pressure I couldn't have broke? It's about mental toughness. It is in those times we have to be stronger than we've ever been before. Why? Because they need us more than ever before. You guys are blessed that you are the 1%ers. Not everybody wants the life that you have, but you got it. And you're not taking it seriously. You know how many people would die to have this? You know how many people would die to be on the field on Sunday? You know people would die to eat the way you all eat? How many people would die to have the gear you've got? Other people would die to get on these planes and travel the world. You've got it. It's your life. What are you going to do with it? You've got to be able to see it when it cannot be seen. You have to see it happening. You have to believe in the unseen. Because if you can't believe in it, you will never manifest it. But when you believe in it, you demand the universe to assist you in what you're doing. If you can see it before everybody else can see it, then it's going to eventually come to you. Forget about January. Forget about February. Forget about March. Forget about April. Forget about May. Forget about June. Forget about July. Forget about August. Forget about September. It's over. So forget about the past. Listen to me and make the rest of your life the best of your life. It's your boy, E.T. I know you can do it. I believe you can do it. And go out there. Get up. Get out. Go get something. Are you wasting your time, or are you using your time wisely? You can replace money. You cannot get a year back. It's time to get real. It's time to get raw. It's time to look ourselves in the mirror and come to the resolve that this version of ourselves is not going to carry us in the stretch. I've been this version of myself long enough that if I don't change, if I don't do something about this, then I'm going to find myself bankrupt. For me to understand, for me to be better, for me to be stronger, I must learn to suffer a little bit. I must learn to struggle a little bit. I cannot reap the rewards of success without understanding the struggles. Success is not automatic. You don't get things just because you want them. You achieve your goals only when you are disciplined enough to keep showing up when you don't feel like it. You're going to put the blood, you're going to put the sweat, you're going to put the tears in. You're going to lose sleep. You're going to go days without eating. You're going to do whatever it takes to make the sacrifices necessary to manifest your best. There are too many people in your life who have left you. There are too many people in your life who have counted you out. There are too many people in your life who have whispered in your ear and said you'll be worse off without them. Prove them wrong. It's time to commit to focusing on you. You have to disappear, put the work in, and come back to shock everybody that doubted you. But don't let yourself be vulnerable to weakness. Don't let weakness consume you. Don't let hopelessness consume you. Be about your business. Understand that you've got to keep living and living strong. If you keep showing up, if you keep going hard, your results will turn those who ignored you into fans. Let your results speak louder than your voice. Can you hide yourself in the library? Can you hide yourself in the gym? Can you hide yourself in the boardroom and plan and do what's required behind the scenes in order to manifest the moment? There are many people out there in the world that don't have the capabilities that you have to carry on the good fight. It's time to stay focused. Why are you so antisocial? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you staying on the basketball court so much? Because I'm trying to get it. Why are you out there practicing in the hot sun when nobody else is there? Because I'm trying to get it. Pain is temporary. I've been trying to get that into your spirit. I've been trying to get you to celebrate pain. That pain is your friend. That pain is going to take you to the next level. Remember, just because something's never been done before doesn't mean it can't be done. It just means we haven't figured out a pathway on how to get it done. And we will get it done. This is it right here. This is that moment that you've got to work. This is that moment when you've got to push. There is no weakness in the place of business. Think about your end goal. Think about what it's going to look like. Picture it in your mind. See yourself already there. Stop praying that the storm will pass over you and pray to grow through the storm. What you go through, you will grow through. You simply have to give it everything you have to get it. You need to shut down all negativity and, frankly, not give in to what others say. You're going to do what you've been called to do. You're going to be what you're called to be, and you're going to have what you're called to have. You're going to prove to everybody that tried to break you wrong. I don't care what the adversity has been. You have two choices. You can be unforgiving, bitter, angry, upset, and be a carrier of grief. Or you can choose resilience. If you truly want to make change, if you truly want that greatness, you got to work hard. You got to dig a little deeper. You got to find it. You want to test my resolve. You adjust my ability to go to the limit. You want to see what is worth and where mine begins. This ain't no game. It's a lifestyle, son. Shut up. You talk entirely too much about your dream. You talk too much about your goal. Say it once, say it twice, no more than 3 times, and get to work. You already know what it feels like to quit, to throw in the towel, to sit on the couch. Do you know what it's like to give everything that you have and persevere? You've got to make the opportunity happen. You've got to be fired up. You've got to be hungry for it. You've got to have the desire to push yourself. Are you hearing me? Work. The relentless system is a mindset before you have an exceptional skill set. You have to have the right mindset. The fighter jet mentality is that someone who is just determined, relentlessly obsessed with achieving an outcome in the face of all adversity. I've always had this relentless mentality. If you say I can't do something, if I fail, if I mess up, it just motivates me even more. I just become even more hungry. You've got to start with that belief in your mind. I've got this. I can do this. I can conquer this. The relentless are unstoppable. I didn't want to have to say, I wish I would have done more. You've got to put yourself in that cage. I switched my mind to something else. I switched my mode into something else. It's go time. Grind. Listen to me. I don't know where you come from, but you will not outwork me. When I'm in that cage, bro, don't touch me, don't talk to me. It's all about execution, strategy, and the mindset. If you want something, you've got to be relentless. When you're trying to sell your product, making phone calls, giving a lecture, whatever it may be, your mindset will determine your skill set. Make a declaration to yourself. Declare all-out war. It doesn't matter what happens to you. What matters is what you're going to do about it. There are kids starting school on Monday morning watching me. They don't have a dad. Their dad is in jail. They don't have a brother. Their brother's in jail. All I've got is this game. I've got no plan B, only my A game. When I finish, people are relying on me. Some of you, when you get on the field, forget what it was like hustling in high school, playing ball, or working hard to get to this point. If you want something, you've got to be religious about it. Decide you deserve this and go all out to get it. Every day I wake up thinking of my ideal life. I have so many goals and a vision for my life, but I sometimes feel overwhelmed and impatient with myself. At times I feel like I'm falling behind. It's a struggle to stay positive and motivated. Like most people, I want to throw in the towel and give up. Sometimes it feels like it's just no use. There's too much ground to cover. I need to remind myself over and over. I am not yet where I want to be, but I know I'll get there. I am grateful I'm not where I used to be. I'm here to cheer you on. You, my friends, are going to get there. You're going to get that promotion, complete that marathon, and achieve whatever you're working toward. But you've got to be crystal clear about what you want. Work like hell. Crack the ground and keep moving. Make the ground shake. Don't let anything stop you. When the world shuts you down, you've got to stand up, stay tall, work hard, dig deep, and go after it. Nothing is going to stop me. If you didn't make me, you can't break me. My purpose, my will, my dedication, my motivation, it's all about doing the business. That's what I'm about. I keep reminding myself, I'm not yet where I want to be, but I know I'll get there. I'm grateful I'm not where I used to be. Sometimes I feel like I'm never going to be good enough, no matter how much I've achieved. I feel undeserving because I haven't pushed myself enough. I look back and wish I had made better decisions. There are moments when you didn't rise to the challenge because you were afraid. You could have given a little more effort, but maybe you weren't prepared for it. Now is the time to recognize what's necessary to get the job done. It's difficult, but you need to remind yourself. You might not be where you want to be, but look at how far you've come. With everything you've been through, you're not under the ground. You've got to rise up and push forward. Look at how much you've achieved. Just when you thought you were out, something pulled you back up. Your willpower, your faith. As long as you're living, there will always be battles and struggles, but you must be prepared to face them. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is your life. Spend it in a way that makes you proud. No matter how far you fall, keep going forward. Do the work. You may feel like you're not where you want to be and wonder if you'll ever get there. It's natural to slip up when trying to make a change. We will make mistakes, but you can't stop moving forward. You're not where you want to be, but I know in my heart and soul you're going to get there. There's nothing stopping you. Keep pushing. You've been through your own obstacles. I know you've faced heartaches and pain. Disappointing moments may haunt you, but this moment is your life. If no one else forgives you, learn to forgive yourself. You are the one who must be accountable. No matter what happens, it all falls back on you. Pat yourself on the back and give yourself a kiss and keep on moving. No matter how far off track you go, ladies and gentlemen, get back on the track and keep moving. So what if you slip up or fall down? Big deal. That doesn't mean you stop or give up. Do you give up or do you keep going? Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Hustling is a mentality. It's a code of conduct. The hustler's mentality asks, how can this challenge be my opportunity, and what can I learn from it? A hustler thinks differently. All roads lead back to the mentality. If you're going to win the fight for your future, you have to prepare your mindset for the workload. You can't be afraid to change. You need to work on your craft every day. A hustler is committed and consistent. This isn't a Monday to Friday thing. It's a Monday through Monday thing. Every single day I'm improving and becoming more than I was yesterday. I am not in competition with anyone else. The only person I'm competing with is who I was yesterday. The hustler knows there's no time to waste. A hustler puts the hours in with a no days off mentality. Many people want to see transformation. They want to lose weight or achieve something different. If you don't put the work in, you won't see results. The hustler knows how to prioritize their time and lock in on their goals. Whatever you're setting out to do requires a different version of yourself. To manifest what you see in your head, you need the courage, confidence, self-belief, and determination to go out every day and make it happen. Remove yourself from the list of people who have disappointed or let you down. You are number one on that list. The real you is begging you to manifest. Stop lying to yourself and letting yourself down. You have to kill the blame game. Stop blaming the person who walked out on you or overlooked you. Stop blaming anyone who undervalued or didn't promote you. Look yourself in the mirror. It's your fault if you failed. You started the year with motivation and ideas, but it all fell apart before February. Ask yourself, am I going to repeat my history, or will I blaze a new trail? For many, history is filled with insecurity, depression, anxiety, and feelings of being less than others. It's time to get out of your own way. You are the reason you're not where you want to be. Your biggest issue is you. Nobody has lied to you more than you. Go find a mirror and tell yourself, this is my year. You've got to be willing to do what 98% of people in this world won't do. You need to eat differently, work differently, think differently, talk differently, and walk differently. Stop getting caught up in the idea that movement is progress. For some, the action of making progress is just that. The effort itself is progress. Even if you swing and miss, that's still progress. The attempt matters. Don't let your goals become buried under a mindset of quitting. You need to stop saying, I can do it tomorrow, or I need a break. There is no quit. Dreams don't stop just because you do. You have to realize that while you're resting, someone else is grinding. Until you adopt a mindset where quitting is not an option, you will never succeed. You may have the same amount of time as everyone else, but the difference is in your mindset. You must grind just as long, if not longer, than anyone else. You have to prepare yourself to be successful. Understand this. You must push harder and fight longer. You have to give it everything you've got. Stop believing that you can use extra time on weekends or during breaks. While others are relaxing, you should be running toward your goals. Nobody can stop you but you. To make your dreams a reality, you can't quit. You have a timeline for your goals, but that doesn't mean they will come to fruition without hard work. You're in a battle between will and skill. You have the skills because you practice every day and put in the work. Now it's a test of your will. Your challenge is not moving your mountain. It's about how you view the challenge. If you want to be great in this life, you have one choice. Make choices that will make you a legend. If you put as much time into winning as you do thinking about losing, you would already be a champion. When will you get tired of just watching others succeed and become one of them? It's time to stop making average decisions that don't change you or your environment. Make decisions that will lead to greatness. You have to choose. Will you just be remembered, or will you become a legend? We need to stop quitting and giving up. Thank God I'm alive. When we open our eyes and are in our right minds, we should appreciate the opportunity to live. Every time I see a post, a tweet, or anything, I want to ask the person, why are you thanking God it's Friday? Hello? The newsletter tomorrow is Saturday. The day after that is Sunday. And the day after that is Monday. What are you thanking God it's Friday for? Because you're preparing to quit. You're preparing to stop what you're doing. You're ready to clock out and go home. And you're in a mindset to do nothing. I dare you to prepare for the challenges in your life by getting rid of comfort. I dare you to identify when you find that job that fits. If you don't have a ride to work, take the stairs when you get there. I dare you not to check out mentally. Work through your lunch. When it's hot, work faster. When it's cold, work longer. I dare you to learn something new today that you didn't know yesterday. I dare you to face adversity and say, I can handle this. I'm more than this right now. Look at your options like a mountain. Stop running from them. Stop throwing away food because you're scared to eat it at night. Stop taking detours because there's a liquor store on the corner. Stop running from your addiction. You have to confront who you can become. Mountains aren't going to move. You've got to climb them. You cannot get what you want in life while clinging to comfort. Many of you are denied your dreams and goals because you have a consistency versus intensity problem. Consistency is doing something. Intensity is how you do it. That's why many of you, no matter how much you practice or who you look at, will be denied. You think that just being consistent earns you the right to win. But consistency alone does not guarantee success. You might find yourself being denied that corner office, that car, that quality of life, or that scholarship. You think if you just keep practicing and staying around the team, sooner or later, you'll make it. No, you won't. You will not win unless you get intense enough to ensure that nothing will get in your way, including yourself. The greatest ability that God has given humankind above animals is the power to choose. A dog can only be a dog. A cat can only be a cat. But a human being has the power to choose. What do you see in your future? What brought you here today? What caused you to get up? What are you looking for? You get to choose. You can design your future any way you want. You are not sentenced to your future. You have an opportunity for it. how do you want it? If it doesn't make you a little afraid, then you're not playing big enough. You all have your own unique rhythms and daily habits that you need to achieve. Look in the mirror and feel that you can. Why choose this as your goal? They may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Why fly the Atlantic? There's a choice. You have to choose for your happiness, well-being, family, health, and success. When I made the decision to follow my destiny, I felt it calling me. That was one small step for man. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. That goal will organize and measure the best of our energies and skills. That challenge is one we are willing to accept and perform, and one we intend to win. Insanity and greatness are next-door neighbors, and they borrow each other's sugar. Transformation of human consciousness through meditation is frustrated as long as we think of it as something we can bring about ourselves. Stick with it until you get through uncomfortable times. You will find that you can spend time with yourself and realize you can do this. Then it's okay to re-engage, but there's great value in not doing that until you know you're good with yourself. I want to show people that there is a way out. There is a way to do more, to get more, to obtain more. But I personally don't want to lose all I've been able to gain, so I need to make sure I do everything to keep it. If you sit on the edge of your bed and things aren't going well, ask yourself what foolish thing you might be doing to make it worse. You will get an answer right away, and it might not be the one you want, but it could be the one that, if you listen to it, would set things straight. That's the bright side of tragedy. When you come through it, you'll truly appreciate the moments without tragedy. You don't really feel it unless life burns you. All I'm doing is sparking awareness in others to ask, why not? Why can't I create? Why can't I start? Why can't I be a business owner? Why can't I be a CEO? Why can't I be a tech guru? There's so much that some people just don't understand they can do. When it's all said and done, my book will be full of everything Kevin Hart did, because I was never content with doing just 1, 2, or 3 things. We get this strange feeling that we are no longer this poor little stranger, afraid in a world that never made sense. Momentum is a big thing for human beings. At least for me, if I'm on a good momentum of healthy eating and exercise, I love it. I like waking up sore, pushing further. I enjoy writing down my workouts and hitting the gym hard every day. I build momentum, and I find that when I apply that to writing, performing, or anything else, it creates energy. Being lazy robs you of energy. Being sedentary, uninspired, or bored takes away one of the most precious things you can have in life: enthusiasm. A lot of people have a hard time defining themselves. They often define themselves by their failures. But I tell them, you're not your failures, you're you. Your life is a series of lessons learned. If you dwell on your failures, that's not healthy or empowering. Instead, look at those failures and think, now I know what not to do. It was hard because I was so happy to have the job I did, but at the same time, I didn't feel like I was growing. My life had become extremely vital. I just had a newborn son. Fatherhood was everything I ever wanted, and here was this job that I had held for most of my life. My emotions were all over the place. I was laughing louder, crying harder, getting angrier, and showing more joy and sadness. All emotions were much more extreme than they had ever been. Your life is more vital than your work. But can your work challenge the vitality you feel in your life? The roles I wanted to pursue: scripts for movies like Dallas Buyers Club. Nobody wanted to touch me with a 10-foot pole. They wouldn't finance those kinds of dramatic roles, so I stopped doing what I had been doing. Thank you for joining me today. If you found this content inspiring or valuable, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Join our community for more insights, motivation, and discussions that empower you to chase your dreams and overcome challenges. Together, we can create a brighter future. Until next time, keep pushing forward.